Unhurried Sage here. Welcome back to the Your Galactic Guide podcast. Once again for another kind of vibey of a New Year conversation. I think a lot of us, as we have gotten older and have more New Years under our belt, we realize pieces of the pie and of the narrative and of the routines and of the structures and of the thoughts. Although a lot of them can be well intended, sometimes they fuck us up. Sometimes they fuck us around, and sometimes they are not in alignment for us. And it was quite a few years ago that I realized that deciding the 1st of January for me in New Zealand being the new year, the first day of the new year being a fresh start and the first day to do all the things that I hadn't got done, or to commit to the things that I hadn't been able to before, and it was the right start because it was suddenly a fresh year and a fresh slate. I realized that that wasn't an alignment for my energy anymore, because behind that and underneath that for me was this constant churning, this monster inside me that always said I wasn't enough yet, or what I had done wasn't enough yet, or what I had achieved wasn't enough yet, or that now was the right day because the day before or half a day before was yucky. And I guess undercurrent belief that exactly where we are right now is not the perfect place to be, and also not the perfect place to start. And so when I unpicked that, it also coincided around the same time that it's when I had a big body awakening, I would say, and realizing that the whole Monday thing, right? Start on Monday thing. Start the diet on Monday. Join the gym on the New Year's Day, right? Commit to the new thing after my birthday, or because my birthday is coming up, or because there's a wedding coming up, or because my sister's getting married, or because there's a holiday coming up, or because your brother's doing something, or because whatever the fuck, something outside of us, some sort of external pressure point, or some sort of external validation, or some sort of external reason, rather than your yes just being your yes, and your no just being your no. Your yes being, oh, this is the right thing for me to do, so I'm going to move right now. I'm going to do that new kind of workout now, not on Monday. The fuck, bitch. I had this, I guess, divine body awakening where I was like, oh, I have been pushing off my yeses or my nos because of external reasons for so long, and that's not sovereignty. And so I began reclaiming every iteration, every version, every opportunity, every layer of me that would wait, or that would push something off, or that would decide that a future date in front of me was the right time to do something. Not because it was my decision, but because of some river that was decided long ago that this is just how it happens, as in this is just New Year's, this is just the Monday. Fuck the Monday. Fuck waiting till the Monday. The future never actually fucking comes. Do you realize that? The Monday never actually comes that it's the right time. The New Year's never actually comes that it's the right time, because the right time for you to decide was in the moment that you decided it was the right time. And when we push something off into the future like that, we actually drain out all of the energy. It goes back to the earth. And while I see the cycles, and while I see there's nothing ever wrong and everything always leads us to where we're going and yada, 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 there's also a fucking truth where when you hold on and hold back, when you try and hold on to an electrical pulse that needs to move through you, it's going to move through you regardless or not. It's just about whether you are taken on for the ride and whether you precipitate the things that you actually want to precipitate through your movement. And so I said, fuck you to the Monday, fuck you to the New Year's, and I just let Mondays be Mondays and New Year's be New Year's. They are new days and New Year's, and that happens all the fucking time, and not to put and to place my power outside of myself to these specific days of the weeks or of the years. And this year, for 2026, being that I have embodied this for many years, I also haven't been setting like intentions. I did the word thing for a little while when it came to the New Year's resolutions, and that was really powerful for me and more freeing as a manifester. But the last couple of years, it has just been a new day. I have not intentionally set out anything. However, in 2026, in January this year, I have felt a breath of fresh air. I have felt a summer breeze on your face and on your skin when you are sweating balls because it's so fucking hot. Literally today is that day here in New Zealand. It is smelling the sweet peas, the fragrance and the texture and the monarch butterflies and the bees all through them after a really long winter. Like that absolute breath of fresh air, the change of season, the new energy is absolutely what I have been feeling. And it's been very beautiful to witness because as I have been part of, it feels like I'm on a boat. I'm part of a boat rather than I am the boat, because there's this divine surrender of the world comes up to meet me, I guess, or my reality comes up to meet me. And January so far, in just the few days that it has been, when I'm recording this, has been a wildly abundant and incredible precipitations. But it's not because I tried. It's not because I put the quote unquote effort in or quote unquote work in. It is because I allowed the world to meet me. And there is this divine surrender to, last year I was working with the frequency of what is meant for me won't miss me. Now, I've heard this, we've all heard this many times, but as divine creatrixes, often we are creating and chasing and manifesting, and it not necessarily just masculine or feminine energy, because it's so much further and so much bigger than that. But to use some words, we are utilizing our energy and playing with the force field around us to create things, to break molds, to create a business, to impact people, to launch an offer, to whatever the fuck, like a million things that we are doing. And we are often on the leading edge of the wave, so to speak, right? Like we are the boat. That is our energy. Our boat is carving across the seas. It is going across the seas. It is finding new things. And that kind of energy often sits us at the leading edge of it, I guess. This is where people can say it feels quite lonely at the top, or it is lonely at the top, or less people understand you, or there's less people to look to. And I just didn't want to accept that. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to accept that as my reality anymore. I had lived that for a few years, and I was like, that's not what I want anymore, and I'm going to choose something different. And so what I then chose is, it felt in my body and my mind and my energy a little bit of a surrender to the matrix of being a human design manifester, of being a creator, of being an entrepreneur even, of being a cycle breaker, and instead being a part of something bigger. And when the saying came back around to me, I think it was in a book about what is meant for you won't miss you. And I don't think that was actually said. I think that's part of the lesson I got from one of the books that I read last year. I saw how this frequency of allowing the world to change and shift and morph around me, because I was sick of the bullshit narrative and the reality that I was in about it being lonely at the top, quote unquote. What I realized was, the whole way along, even when I thought I was in control, or even when I thought I was creating, another truth is that I was just a piece of the puzzle. Like, our businesses, the people we impact, the stakeholders that we have, the clients we have, the people that we touch with, our free content, the people we employ, the people we hire, there are so many moving pieces there, and we are not God. The softening that everything doesn't rest on our shoulders, like, and part of this for me was also through the grief portal of losing some dear family and friends over the past few years, and sitting in funerals and seeing the slideshow of the photos of their life and realizing that one day my life is going to be dwindled down to a slideshow of photos with some music on it in a church that people are watching. That's all there will be. And that reality, that seeing that viscerally with people that I have known my whole life, and grappling with some other family members and even my own mortality last year, led me to the most beautiful spot of where I am now. And it was through this, it felt like a softening, but also I can see how all of it has played the part, how every iteration, every version, every decision, every indecision, every wait till fucking Monday, how it all has led to this place now where we get to choose beyond a matrix. We get to choose way beyond a saying, way beyond what we thought was possible, way beyond what our mentors have said or what they have experienced. There are some of us that will always be on the leading edge of creating and of groundbreaking and of discovering. And also remember that being on the leading edge of it can also be how you are experiencing the leading edge, if that makes sense. Like, your experience is not just the end precipitation, because our lives are actually the journey. It's not tomorrow. It's not when you've built the empire. It's not once you have the children, or when you have the partner, or when you live in the house that you really want to live in. That's not the point. The point is the slideshow of photos, the moments. It's a collection of moments in the now present moment, because the future will never exist. You will not be alive in the future. You're going to be dead, bitch. Like, anything that is pushing you towards something in the future is a parasite. It's taking you away from the seat of yourself, away from your sovereignty, and actually away from the joy and the deliciousness of the present moment, because that is all there actually fucking is. And so I ask you, I invite you, from this place, how do you want to experience this year? How do you want to experience this day? Both yourself and your external environment, the people you are around, the home you live in, the organization, the kind of work that you do. And that is a New Year's resolution. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, and for you generators, you need to tune in next week, because next week, on this very day, I have a very special gift dropping just for my human design generators that you are not going to want to miss. I love you. Bye.